Hi guys, and welcome to this video on swing versus normal for FTMO. Which account is better and what are the differences between the two accounts? I'm just here on the website and just going to go through some of the key differences between the two accounts, such as leverage, the times you can trade, and also keeping an eye on the drawdown and some tips in regard to that. First of all, we've got the swing account leverage. The account leverage is limited to 1:30 leverage, compared to 1:100. So basically you're getting 30% of the leverage that you get with a normal account, meaning you can basically trade a little bit less compared to a normal account. In saying that, 1:30 leverage gives you more than enough leverage to be able to trade the lots that you need to reach the targets. Remember guys, FTMO changed their rules so that you no longer have to pass within 30 days. You can take as long as you need, and it's really important to go slow and steady and pass these accounts, because once you've passed, it opens up a lot of doors when you're talking about consistency with your trading. So the issue with the normal account having that higher leverage is it actually can influence traders to keep trading more than they need to, trade in bigger lot sizes than is probably suitable for the account, particularly with the drawdown limits that are in place. So remember, it's not necessarily your own trading account. It's an account where you need to pass the rules that are given to you. So the swing account provides that lower leverage, which limits you to making mistakes and going in too heavy on certain positions when you don't need to. It's really about taking your time with the challenge and passing the challenge so that you can move on to the next stage, the verification stage, and then getting funded. So slow and steady wins the race there, guys. And that makes me like the swing account a little more because it forces me to trade a little slower and a little bit more conservatively so that I can pass and keep my account alive and aim for that target without hitting those drawdown limits. I'm going to also quickly talk about the news trading. So with a swing account, you can trade through the news. It's not going to affect your funded account stage. And you can also trade news through the evaluation and verification. With a normal account, you can still use the news trading in the evaluation and verification, but you cannot use it in the funded account stages. So for example, if you're using an EA, expert advisor, or some other strategy that generally holds trades or enters them potentially during a news event, that could cause issues when you get funded. So rather than putting that pressure on your funded account when it really counts, the swing account allows you to continue trading as you were previously, allows you to use EAs that don't factor in news events, and it also allows you to hold trades overnight and over the weekends. Now, while you can do this through the challenge phases with a normal account, once you cross over to being funded, you no longer get that opportunity with the normal account, whereas swing trading, you can hold them overnight and over weekends. So it just takes a lot of the pressure of thinking, oh, do I need to get out of this trade? Is this expert advisor going to hold positions when they shouldn't, or enter trades when there's a news event by accident, for example, and then lose that funding if you were in a normal account? While a swing, it just gives you a lot more flexibility. It reduces the amount of volume that you can get into trades with, meaning that your risk is going to be inherently lower than somebody that's trading a normal account to their full margin restrictions. I want to also quickly talk about the account drawdown. Now, the rules are the same for swing and normal. So in a sense of your targets and your drawdowns, that kind of thing. So effectively, the challenge itself is still the same. But what you need to keep in mind is that because you can hold trades overnight and over the weekend, you need to keep a track of what your drawdown was at the start of the day versus throughout that day. So because you have an account that could be in loss at the start of the day, and let's say your account gets to the maximum drawdown amount on an open set of trades, it may look like you're very close to the drawdown limit, but it could mean that you still have an extra % or two because you've already started out in a drawdown for that day, and it's not necessarily going to impact the daily drawdown as heavily. I explain it a little better in the website page, but if you just want a quick explanation, basically this is something that you need to keep an eye on, is that you're not starting from zero at the start of each trading day. So it's important to go and check the FTMO client area and see what your drawdown limits are for that particular day. Also, on the flip side, if you start the day with, for example, $5,000 in profit and your open loss goes to, say, negative $5,000, that's a difference of $10,000, which could potentially hit the daily drawdown. For example, if you're on the 200K account, that would be an issue. But when you look at the open profit and loss, you're only going to see, say, half of the total limit. But because you've started at $5,000 up for the day in your open trades, and then those trades have moved down to $5,000, it's just going to make the drawdown limits a little bit trickier to follow, and you want to make sure that you're checking the FTMO client area for the actual data. Is it better to have an FTMO swing account or a normal account? So we're at the crunch now. In order to pass and have less restrictions, the swing account is a far better option in my opinion. Now that the time limit has been removed, the swing account is far superior for a number of reasons which we've already covered. The reason people might have gone the normal account previously was because when there was 30 days to get past the targets, people would have been aiming to go a little bit heavier than perhaps what you might need to now and trying to pass within that 30-day time frame, because 10% is quite a big target for 30 days. So sometimes you need that extra leverage to be able to get the right amount of volume for those trades where you can actually predict the movement for what you're trying to achieve. So rather than just doing a big Hail Mary, somebody might use a normal account, for example, to go into a high probability trade setup and try and hit that target within the time frame using higher leverage. Whereas with the swing account, you can take your time now that the evaluation has been moved, and you're going to be at less risk. Even if you make, say, worse decisions, you've got less chance of going over your volume limits and that kind of thing when you trade. So while you get less volume to trade with effectively with the swing account, it's still a better option because you're taking some of the control away from yourself and basically forcing yourself to take your time with the FTMO challenge and evaluation, and then also take your time with the funded actual account so that you get your payouts. If you're ready to go and get your swing or a normal account, if I haven't convinced you that the swing is a better option, there's a link in the description below. Head over, get your FTMO account and enjoy. For those of you in the US, FTMO no longer offers their services to US clients, and that's why I've got a link in the description to Apex Trader Funding, which is futures trading. Now, futures trading is all through a centralized exchange, and it just means that you have a real feed, you have real data, not from, for example, a market maker, which the US actually allows US citizens and residents to trade through, compared with FTMO, which is a CFD provider, and CFDs are no longer allowed in the US. So if you're in the US, you want to trade with a prop firm, Apex Trader Funding, there's a video and a link to go and get your accounts and learn a little bit more about them if you can't use FTMO. Tell us your thoughts on why you like the swing account or the normal account more. It'd be great to hear your feedback on which account you prefer and the reasons behind that feedback. If you enjoyed this video or took something positive from it, please hit the like button below. It lets me know this is helping others. To see more great content like this, please subscribe, hit the bell icon, and stay updated with the latest.